Hi, everybody. Welcome to Behind the Card on the Wild Raven Tarot channel. My name is Bobby. I am the Wild Raven. Um, Today, we are talking with a friend of mine, Miss Gigi from Spirit Readings. Gigi, how you doing, Gigi?
I am doing good. How are you?
I'm all kinds of skippy. I've had
Me
a
too.
yeah. uh, Let me tell you guys what's going on today. We are not doing readings. Sorry about that, boo boo, for those of you putting in questions. Today is all about discovery. We're digging into what makes Gigi who she is. How did she get her start? Where's she from? Where's she going? Um, Everybody on the planet has a story, and I love hearing those stories. That's why I started this segment. So before we start, we've got a few people that have popped in, and we are, I think, being viewed
Mobile too?
on landscape and mobile format. I don't know why it's set for only landscape and YouTube. I don't know why. Um,
It's
let's say
confusing.
let's say hi to some people. We've got
Hi, Jackie. Hi,
Marissa,
Madame Maru. And
Maru. She's here. How you
Maria
doing?
Celia Knight.
Yeah,
Hello.
I'm sorry about that. We're not taking questions on this show, but tomorrow I'll be back on with Joey Pot. Oh, Wednesday I'll be back on with Joey Potts, the Veiled Cottage Witch, and I would love to have you pop in and get a reading from us.
Ooh.
Ascending
Hi,
Universal
Cindy.
Butterfly. How you doing, Ascending Joya Miranda? How you doing, my love?
Ooh.
You have
I
to
love
say
the
it
way you
like that.
say that with
Joya
gusto.
Miranda.
La la la.
And she's the only person on my channel who I will do that with. She's special.
I love it.
Jackie,
Hi, Denise.
Rachel, how you doing? Oh, um, Rachel, the creator of Totem Tarot, has a new line out of clothing, Totem Tarot
Ooh.
clothes. Yeah, so I'm gonna be showing you guys. So I'm gonna go get one and show you what they are because I like the design. I really do, and it's so hard to find good tarot clothing.
Waiting for an oven repairman. Ooh.
All right, all right. Who else do we have here? Uh
I saw
Margaret,
Denise. Ooh. It's me again,
Maru,
Margaret.
Victoria, Annie, Maureen. What's up, boo boo?
Hi, Maureen.
Uh, Jackie, Jess, witchy best friend.
Hi, Jess.
Uh, love your ass too, Bobby. Rachel is such a cool deck. If you guys don't know the Totem Tarot, it deals with
Ooh.
the archetypes of the major arcana. It's very cool. Um, Denise is watching on the TV. Just going to enjoy. You sit back, smoke it up, girlfriend.
Yes, I appreciate it.
I will not
Hi,
be smoking
Nathan.
today. Nate's here. Oh, I haven't gotten that far down yet. Nate's my bro. What up, my friend? All right.
Oh,
And I'm sure there will be other people join. Wow, we've got a full house already.
yeah, we
Uh,
do.
we are going to find out about my lovely companion here. And for those who have never seen the show, I ask questions based on the cards of the major arcana. So, um, our first card, I just realized I don't have a deck in order in my hands. Okay,
Is it the pool?
that's the Fool. Our first card is the Fool. Where would you? Well, I know what the cards are, but I like to
Yeah,
hold a picture up for people.
right.
I think I'm gonna have to do overlays where I just pull them up. So the Fool card. Where would you say that your spiritual journey began? When did you lean into it?
Oh gosh, that's kind of it's not really a trick question, but my gifts showed up when I was like 2. Like I would sit at my grandma's feet, be coloring or whatever, playing at her feet, and I would just pause and look up at her and tell her I used to rock you when you were a baby. And I would never say it when anyone else was around. So her mom passed like 3 years before I was born, and I would describe places I'd never, like, oh, when I lived in this house, and that's how I would say it, like, you know
Like
like they
past
were my,
tense.
yeah, like they were my own memories. And she was like, you have never even been there. I was like, well, um apparently I have. I remember it, but I kind of just, that's why it's hard for me when people ask how to get started, because I never know what it was like not to have it, because I was so young. And
Right.
I'm glad that, like, I wasn't discouraged. Like my grandma didn't be like, "Oh no, hush, don't say that," because she herself was gifted. Like, so I'm like fifth generation through my mom and my grandma, that line of women. So
Yeah, I remember you had mentioned this before about coming from a long line of powerful women.
mhm.
Um, I may be a man, but I come from a long line of powerful women. Um,
Hey, I mean,
yeah, the men in the family, not so much, but
well, my
uh,
my grandma could like look at a woman and tell if she was pregnant, what she was gonna have, like that sort of thing.
that's awesome.
And then she would dream and it would happen, and it would be like a deja vu moment. And then pretty much, I think all four of her children were gifted. I know my mom is, but she has turned hers off. She found it hard to uh, deal with it, I guess, and I'm
I
like,
have cousins that did that.
yeah,
Yeah, and they'll say straight out, "I don't do that for a reason."
yeah,
Um, that's a good point. Spiritual gifts, in my opinion, should be taken up, but they don't have to be taken up.
right. And if it's too
They,
much for you, you have to do what's best for you. So
yeah,
I just never felt the need to turn mine off. Sometimes I do have to dial it back a little bit because my third eye is so open. Like
oh
when,
yeah, hermit mode.
yeah, like when people have done like Reiki sessions with me, they're like, I've never seen anyone's third eye so open. And I'm like, it's been that way my whole life. Like, that's
Yeah,
how it is.
um, I had a Reiki session one time, and I didn't think to tell them I was a tarot card reader or a witch. Um,
They know now.
and she went started at the crown chakra, put her hands down, and went, "Oh."
Oh, yeah.
like,
Like, that jumped
like
out
what?
at
She
me.
says it's already open. I was like, "Yeah, I probably should have mentioned this."
But we just
So
don't think about it because it's like our normal.
yeah,
And so, like,
it's the default setting.
yeah, I
Yeah,
function at this level. And, the more I work with it, the stronger it gets. So, over, from 2 to 43, that's a lot of years of working with it. So, yeah, it probably will shock
yeah.
people.
If you guys are interested in learning how to strengthen your psychic gifts, tarot is a great way to do it. It
Mhm.
forces you to use your intuition. So I would suggest getting an oracle deck or a tarot deck and just, just as Joey says, fuck around and find out.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, I started with the spirit board, but then I would watch tarot readers on YouTube, and I saw myself doing it before I ever had a deck. So, I
my
mean,
my aunt channeled angels. She could talk to
oh,
angels and
that's
spirits.
beautiful.
Um, my um, cousins, clairsentient, um, they channel natural forces. I think a lot of people get hung up on the word channel.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I call it recognizing.
I
I
like that.
I
Because it
recognize the
is.
universe.
It's a realization, or you know, like when you drive past a place and you get a feeling about it. And there's sometimes I'm like, I've been here before, I've seen that, and never had been there before in my life, right? But something took me back. I took my gifts offline.
Yeah, Nate, a lot of people
Oh
don't
yeah.
want to deal with the persecution or the ridicule, or the hate from the spiritual community, Christian groups.
Well, see,
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like with me, I'm spiritual. I'm not religious. I was raised non-denominational, but like my great grandma, she would pray scripture over people, but then also read tea leaves. So, I
that was
mean,
my aunt.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
like
that was
it's
my
a
aunt.
her
Yeah.
belief. And so I find myself doing the same thing. And I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. It's personal sometimes. Some of it is personal, like
This actually leads into the magician card. We're
oh, I
talking
love it.
about other people's opinions and stuff.
Yeah.
Uh, we have the magician. He is the great manifester, but he's also the great communicator. Was it difficult telling those around you about your spiritual side outside of your family?
No, I mean, it's not something like I really ever talked about too much, but like I remember the closer I was to someone, the more I could pick up on them. And like my best friend in high school called me one day. We were in high school and I answered, and she was like, "Guess what?" And I said, "You lost your virginity." And she was like, "How did you know? It literally just happened." I said, "I just know." like,
Like literally, he's still here.
yeah, he hasn't even pulled his pants up and went home yet. How do you know? And I'm like, I don't know. I just do. And she messaged me for a private reading not too long ago. And I said, "Do you remember when we were in high school?" And she said, "Oh my God, she was like, "Now I do, now that you said that." She was like, "That's crazy." And I said, "And now you're getting a reading from me, all these many years later."
Right? I love it. So, um, our next question was going to be, was tarot the first divinatory tool that you use? So I'm going to rephrase this a little bit.
Okay.
Outside of your natural gifts, was
Right.
tarot the first divinatory tool that you used? Or was it
No,
runes or
it was the spirit board.
okay, you spirit board. Yeah, you just said that.
Yeah, but that's okay. Like
But
the enchanted spell board.
what other forms of divination have you picked up over the years?
I would like to do runes. I haven't got a set yet. I use my pendulum, crystals, oracle. What
We can
else?
make a rune study group if you want, because I'm
Oh,
trying to
I
learn
would
them.
love that.
I have been trying to learn runes forever,
And I
and
would like to learn like tea leaves to honor my great grandma, and then her eldest daughter read
you
palms.
know, have you talked to Ramon
I have not.
Moonscarrow? He knows tasseomancy. Um,
Ooh, I'm gonna
so
have to
yeah,
check
you
into that.
go to his channel. I think he's got a video on tasseomancy on tea leaves. Uh,
I do have a tea leaf tarot or a tea leaf oracle. They're like little round cards that I really love. And let me see what else. I'm trying to think. My brain is not braining today.
I'm not
Um,
braining.
so tarot. What a ruin study group is a great. It really is a great idea. Like and like I said, sometimes I feel drawn to things and I'll see myself doing it before I actually do it. I don't have a set of ruins yet, but I
Hmm.
would. And yeah, I want to get like the tea. Like, I wish I had been alive, like when my great great grandma did tea leaves, tea
If
leaf.
you want to learn, Gigi, I can send this out to you. I don't use it. I just have it for decoration.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Um, it's a reed tea leaf tree
Why?
with all
And
the astrology symbols inside of it, and
and why do I feel like I have seen myself using that? Like it just spoke to me. Like yes,
this is definitely something I can send out to you. I
I
don't
love that.
know. I have to look to see if I have the book or if I just got the cut from somebody.
Okay.
But
Hey, I
I'm
love gifts. I'm a Leo. You know, I love.
right. Hi, Hinda. How you doing? Center pair protection. Oh, yeah. Here's the thing about Ouija boards. If you don't know what you're doing and how to protect yourself,
Yeah. I learned
spirits are
that with
stupid.
the spirit board too. Like when I first, I didn't, put my protections in place, and I found out real quick
Yeah,
that
I hate to say it, but in that sense, the Christian community has a point.
yeah,
Don't fling your window and door open wide and say, "Come on in," until
yeah,
you
no
know what you're
way,
inviting. You gotta
yeah,
protect yourself. Um, yeah, a lot of people had that scary
yeah,
experience, Kendra. Um, but yeah, if you take proper precautions, it's not an issue. Oh, here's what I wanted to say. Dead don't mean smart.
no,
Okay.
no,
So take the advice you get from people you don't know or spirits that
hmm
you're not familiar with a grain of salt. My family, I know, has my best interest at heart. So if I'm having a spirit communication with them, I can trust what they're saying. All right. I know a lot of people say spirits can't lie. The fuck they can't.
oh yeah,
Um,
for sure can. Ah,
All right, but that's my personal thing. That's my opinion. Okay, so it's a great opinion, and I'm right, but it is my opinion. I'm kidding.
and you're right, So I mean, when you're right, you're right, right?
All right, so our next question is the Empress card. In what ways do you nurture your spiritual self? What spiritual practices do you
Ooh.
do to strengthen and cleanse? And
I've been, journaling positive affirmations, saying positive affirmations to myself, learning to speak positively, over my life, over other people, the future. I always felt like I was more masculine than feminine. So, and oh, reminds me of that story you told you. Yeah, a really nasty mean spirit that came through and told me it wanted to unalive me. That
oh, fun.
right, like called me a fat Jew, and I'm like, I don't even think I'm Jewish,
Uh,
but okay,
like,
like
well,
where
there's
did
something I didn't know.
well,
Jewish, huh?
let me go back and check my ancestry DNA results, like. But thank you.
Yeah, that falls into the category of lying. That's why I say spirits can't lie. The fuck
Yeah,
they can't. Um, all
and
right, so you were saying,
I've been saying that I'm in my Empress era. And I feel like every time I say that and I embrace that a little bit more, it helps me, bring my divine feminine, because to me, it's easier to fall into masculine energy than feminine energy. And why that is, I don't know. But, and it's not like, oh, I want to be a
right?
guy. Like, it's not that. It's just that's
It's
the
not physical.
energy.
We're not
Yeah,
talking.
no, it's inner or
Yeah,
however you say that.
active versus receptive.
Yeah.
If you don't prefer saying masculine and feminine, it's just balancing the different
And
sides
then
of yourself.
too, with the way the world works, it's like the grind, you have to embrace that. It feels like you have to embrace it to get ahead, or when you get your mind set up that, oh, I have to grind and be in my masculine. And then you start learning when I'm in my feminine and I'm open and ready to receive, that's when things really, really happen. You find I balance. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I definitely always felt more Yeah. So some people just, it's that way, like,
I'm learning how. This may sound funny. I'm 56 ish. I think I'm 56, 56 or 57. I can never remember.
one of them. It's
That's why
okay.
I got married, so I could ask him, honey, how old? um, I totally forgot what I was about to say. What was I talking about?
Um, well, we were talking about being more like masculine or feminine
Oh
energy.
yeah, I'm this old, and I'm now getting in touch with my masculine side in a healthy way. When I was younger, I
Yes,
was in touch with my masculine side, but it was the arrogant Knight of
it.
Wands in reverse side. Um,
Yeah. You know, I, y- and people don't talk
Thanks, Annie.
about toxic masculinity and toxic femininity enough. Like, and you hear more when it's masculine that's toxic than you do um, feminine, but feminine can be just as toxic if you're not, you
That's
know.
Yeah.
So
Just
I
because
don't,
something's receptive doesn't mean it's
yeah.
always
And
good
I
for
mean,
you.
I've been in my toxic era, I've always been
I
ray of sunshine. Hey, Selena.
um, it's the Nancy, a Crohn's Intuition, sent me a video earlier. It was a woman talking about, in order to truly appreciate the good things in life, the high points,
Yeah,
you usually travel into the lower realms. You go through a dark point so you could
right.
appreciate the contrast. Um,
And I
Thanks,
was telling
Annie.
Selena when I watched her video where she did a reading, where her and her husband have been together many lifetimes. And I commented on that and I said, my husband and I have too, but there have been times where I was the husband and he was the wife.
Selena
So
used to
I
be my
know.
husband.
Yeah, so see, I know I've been a man in the past, so that could also be why masculine just felt more comfortable to me. I don't
Yeah.
know. But I've had to learn to soften and um oh, well, if I am Jewish, I do have German roots. And so I know at one time, there was no separation in Germany between like the Jewish people, but spirit guide, and they told me I've never reincarnated. Oh,
So let's go on to our next card, which is the Emperor. You do a lot. How do you stay structured and focused? How do you balance everything?
Lord have mercy. I don't even know, like by the seat of my pants. I have very squirrel energy. Like, it does not take much to distract me where I'm like, oh, shiny, But then other days, like today, I was feeling, so I brought my hematite to help me stay grounded and my sunstone, to help boost my energy. So I have these close by me. So, being grounded sometimes is not easy for me. Like, I feel like I'm up in the air sometimes. But I have
Me too.
Gemini rising, so I don't know if
So do
that's
I.
why I'm an airhead.
I'm a Leo Gemini rising.
That's me. I'm Leo Sun Gemini rising.
Dude, what is your
I know we're
birthday?
twins, right?
I'm
It's like
August
looking.
15th, 1969.
I'm August 3rd, 1982.
Ah, see, we're around the cycle a few times, but we're
Yeah,
the same energy. This is a great
I love
example of
it. Yeah, I think that's why we connected so well. Like I was thinking
I
about
didn't
that.
realize that. That's
Mhm.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's always fun when you find like a birthday twin or someone, that has a few of the same signs. My husband and I are pretty much opposite on every sign in our birth charts. Oh, Joanna's, oh, you have to say it. I can't say it with the gusto that you.
Joanne Miranda. That's
Hello,
my
birthday
girl.
twin. August 3rd. I love that. You got your sunstone too. Yes.
Awesome. Um, so how to answer that question, how do you stay structured? Like me, I
I,
need my phone. I need my
yeah,
notes.
yeah. I keep a schedule and I check things off when I do them, and then
I love that.
I have days where I may wake up and not feel like doing nothing that day, and my Capricorn Moon will be like, "Get up and do it. Get off your, don't be lazy." And I'm like, "Dude, I,
That's the worry
I
part.
yeah,
That's your stressing over
yeah."
what's
And some
unknown.
because my mom's a Capricorn sun, so I'm used to being structured. Yeah, that's all my content that I'm shooting. Like I try to when my mom had neck surgery, I had to try to shoot ahead
Uh,
because I wanted to have content out while I was over helping her. And
that's a
so
Capricorn.
yeah, and it actually went better than I thought because I thought we were going to butt heads because she's Capricorn, very independent, wants to do everything herself. But she said, "You don't know how hard it is to sit here and watch you guys do everything." And I was like, "Yeah, I do."
So you said you don't follow any particular religion. Um, how would
I
you
was
describe
raised
your
non.
path?
Well, I feel like I pull a little bit of everything, and there's sometimes something like one day I was sitting here and I heard Oshun. And I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know who she was, so I had to look her up.
What happened?
And
Your picture.
oh, my froze. What is
No, there's
happening?
two of you.
That is weird. It's not on here, but it's on the phone where I can see it. That it's like
Right?
got a green and
Yeah.
blue.
Why don't you
Maybe
step out
maybe
and
it's
step
a
back in?
Rastafarian. Okay, I'll
Yeah.
step out and step back in.
All
Sorry,
right.
guys. Technical.
Gigi's
And
gonna
I even
slip
got
into
my
something a little more comfortable.
hopefully Shungite pyramid here, but
Everyone's like, Gigi, your twin.
I'm so awesome. There's two of me. My mom did dream she was going to have twins, so here you go, mom. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay. While Gigi does that, today is World AIDS Day, everybody. Today is a day of remembrance for those who have passed and those who are suffering with it and those who need to be protected from it. I am somebody who is living with HIV and it ain't pretty. So today is a day that I did a video earlier. I did a YouTube show where I talked about my life living with this. So if you would like to learn more about that and more about me, you can search on my channel. The show is called Spotlight, a very special episode. You can't miss it. It's got a big ass AIDS ribbon on it. Um, I wonder why Gigi's thing did that. Let's see how many of her are here now. Okay, there's only one of her.
Maybe it was my divine feminine and divine masculine showing
I was
up.
gonna say. My first thought was Gigi's spirit guides are getting involved in the show.
Oh God. What is happening? Um, so I was raised non-denominate technical glitch because of awesome energy. Yes, I love it. Um, I was raised non-denominational, so um, we didn't always go to church, but I was raised around scripture. I was raised around prayer. I still pray. I do believe in God. That's I know not everybody does, and I respect other people's paths. You believe what you believe for a reason. I'm not here to judge anybody because even the Bible says we ain't supposed to, and I don't want that job anyway, right? Like,
I got too much to do. I
yeah,
ain't gonna be judging
that's a
nothing.
big job. So,
Right.
um, but I feel like all of it is part of what made me who I am. And, that's why I say I'm more spiritual now than religious. Because like you were saying earlier, uh, religion sometimes will, flick their nose or, you know,
Yeah.
but I don't understand how anyone, because they will say we all get gifts from God. I feel like this is one of my gifts, so why should I be condemned for it? Like, I've had it my whole life, so it's just that never made the math ain't math in there with me. But people will bend and
Yeah.
twist things to fit their
I
agenda.
try not to give too deep an opinion on that, even
Yeah,
though I have them.
yeah.
It's not.
Well, I try not to either because everybody believes something different, and that's
Yes, I
perfectly
talk to
okay.
people that aren't there, so I
Yeah.
can't say shit. You know.
Well,
Um,
that's like me sitting in class growing up, and I would hear people call my name, and I'd be like looking around, and everybody's doing their work, and I'm like, okay, and sometimes you would feel weird about it, and then like I don't recognize that voice. I ain't answering because I don't know who it is,
that's
and
something I've always been fascinated with. How do you tell the difference between actual spirit contact and schizophrenia, which is a valid,
right,
serious question.
right.
Um,
Because it probably, I mean, back in the day, we probably would have been put in an asylum,
yep.
especially if we talked about it, and that's another thing. Like, I feel like people hid their talents and their gifts out of fear, but yet people would come to my grandma for tea leaf readings, people would come to my aunt for the palm readings, and
Gypsies, tramps, and thieves.
yeah.
I love
Yeah,
that
and
book.
man, she had I actually knew my aunt. She lived to be like in her 90s, and I didn't get a I didn't get a reading from her, but she would look at me and just smile like she knew something I didn't know, and she probably did. And she had these big amethyst rings, one on each hand, and I mean these suckers were huge, and I was like, "Ooh." So, um I definitely, it's weird to me because I didn't know my great grandma or my great great grandma, but yet I still feel like I did. I still feel connected. Sake of
Uh,
sharing some of them with, yeah. And
this is
that's why because I remember my mom telling me, there was a time where I was at my dad's and my stepdad was out on the truck, out on the road, and it was just her and the dog. And she thought the dog had bumped the bed, and she said, "Come on up." And then she said the next thing she knew, she was like almost being shoved through the mattress by something not nice. And so like you were saying, when the door blows open, don't say,
yeah.
come on
Um,
in, because you don't know what the heck you just.
yeah, you're basically putting an open house sign out,
Yeah.
which is fine if you're protecting yourself
Yeah.
and have state of the art security. But
Yeah.
if you don't, you're kind of fucked.
Right. Like, oops,
Um,
don't do that again.
in that sense, I agree with other religions who may have views on that with
Right.
energies. But yeah, don't just say, "Here I am, do it."
Yeah,
Uh,
because they'll find an open vessel, and
that's where possessions come in,
yeah.
curses come in, yeah, entities, attachments. So, And then Bobby's got to work his ass off to get it off you.
I got a sage.
Fuck, now I got to make another potion. Um,
Never invite the vampires in. Exactly.
oh my gosh, what a great way to say it, Maureen. I love
Yeah.
that. I'll have that one right there. I'm
Put
telling
some
people.
garlic up, right?
All right, so now we've got the Lover's card. Um, how have your romantic relationships been shaped by your spirituality? And I'll give you a for instance.
Okay.
I've dated people in the past who, as soon as I say I'm a witch, they think I'm insane or on drugs, which I'll admit for a long
You
time I
know,
was.
hey.
But um, have people ever given you problems?
Well, not for that. I was married. I've been married twice in this lifetime, and like
I'm so sorry.
yeah, my first husband was not a good one. Um, and it's like you live, you learn. Like I knew he wasn't, and I still went in, right? So,
Right.
um, but he was gifted too. So it's kind of like he would tell me, I can feel when you're close by. Like he would know if like I was anywhere around him. And I was like, that kind of freaked me out a little bit. But I just know and I guess it was because of how close we were. But and my husband now is gifted too. So it's like when we first started talking, like he has a son that has passed, and I had a child with my first husband that I miscarried. And like he would say, I see my son playing with this little girl, and I don't. And I was like, oh, it's probably my daughter. And then they would come here and play because my husband lived in Illinois and I lived in Oklahoma when we first started talking. And so our kids were like playing together. And he was like, they're in the pantry moving cans around. And I was like, well, just tell them to stop.
Tell him to stop.
Like get on to them just like you would.
Yep.
Because like when they would come to my house, because I lived with my mom and my stepdad again after my first divorce, and they would like unplug her washing machine, and she was like, I'm gonna tell them to leave if they don't.
I grew up in a haunted house,
Yeah.
and we knew it was the ghost of an old man. We always felt protected in the house.
Mhm.
There was never any ill will. Like we'd wake
Right.
up and the curtains would be wide open with the sun coming in, and um, we're a nocturnal family, so we like it
Yeah.
in the dark. The washing machine would start running,
Oh yeah.
and it would be unplugged. So yeah, those type of situations.
But other than that, like I never really felt like I don't know, because there were years where I didn't really work with my gifts, but like I would get flashes of things like and I would share them with the person that it was meant for. And it was usually someone related to me or that I was really close to, like that sort of thing. So, um, 2008, 2009 was rough year for me. I lost a baby. I got divorced. I lost both my grandmas. And so I went through kind of, especially after losing my mom's mom, because I always told her she was my soulmate, or one of my soulmates, even because I'm not someone that just believes it's romantic in nature only. So I feel like her and I had been together multiple times. um, because she was always my safe space. And so I did go through a dark period where I did kind of shut down. I didn't turn it off, but I was vibing so low that things weren't coming through like they are now. Like it took me a little while to get through that, and that's like
Right.
the darkest period I've ever been in my life. And
You just actually answered a question we're gonna have later on, so we'll remember this.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. No, I love it. We can retouch on it. Um,
And I feel like, I love this segment that you do because it gives people like a chance to tell their story. And it's healing and therapeutic in its own way. Like, and I feel like maybe it might touch someone that's watching it, as well. So, um,
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people think they're not special,
we all are in
and
a way.
everybody is special.
Hmm.
Everybody is special. And by seeing somebody who is similar to ourselves, we realize, holy crap, that's just like me, and they're special, so I must be special. You know, I want everybody to share their story, to find their community, and the world's a dark place right now.
Yeah,
It needs bitches like us to,
all the light it can get,
yeah,
and the truth, that's the thing. Um, the truth isn't being told a lot of times, and that makes it even darker
yeah, and
to me.
it's not just showing a light on what you believe. It's having the fortitude to stand by what you say.
And
And
I feel like a lot of people are lacking compassion and
yes,
empathy now. Like, it's a weird, like I was telling my mom, the world you raised me for no longer exists, and that's confusing. Like, I've never been more confused in my life in that sort of way. And then, as I was coming out of this dark period, um, I was going to church at the time with my mom and stepdad, and the preacher, he's known me since I was a kid. He said, the Holy Spirit just showed me that you know exactly how Jesus felt on the cross. And I tell you, the tears I cried, um, when he said that, it was like someone seeing me, for the first time in a long time. And that's another thing. I think a lot of people aren't feeling seen and heard and validated too. Like,
that's one of the reasons I love doing this show. People need to
yeah,
be seen and heard and realize that there's other people out there who feel and have similar lives and experiences.
right.
So let's all share those. And
And I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful for this. I was a little nervous. I always get nervous before a show, but my nerves help me. I
yeah,
don't know, like
it
the
says
show.
Bobby, would you?
It's showtime. The
Right.
Beetlejuice.
It's funny. I've had people who have come on behind the cards before and they say they're nervous. And I'm like, why? You're on YouTube all the time. It's like, yeah, but I'm not
I
talking
know,
about
but
this stuff.
right, and it's like, okay, we're getting the skeletons out of my closet. Oh,
Okay, so on the chariot, has it been difficult moving forward with your chosen path? And what kind of roadblocks have you faced when you decided to start a channel and put yourself out there? Um, Was it
yeah.
easy? Did it all just flow, or were there challenges and roadblocks?
I started my channel in 2019, and my health caused a lot of roadblocks because I wasn't able to be consistent, and things like that due to my health. There were days where I couldn't get out of bed, where I was passing blood clots like
Mm,
that big. And so it's hard to move when you're like, my insides are trying to come out, basically, is what it felt like.
right.
And so, um and like I said, there was at one point, like, I think it was 2017, that I had surgery when my ovary twisted. And then the following year, I had to have a blood transfusion. So, um, I finally started feeling better like 2022 when I had the hysterectomy. That was a big turning point for me. And then I was able to be a little bit more consistent. But then, during all that time, the losing all that blood, I ended up in heart failure and strokes. And I didn't even, I
Oh
was so
my.
sick with the other stuff, I didn't realize that I was even having strokes. So, and found out later when I went and had an MRI done because I was really weak on my left side. And now, I'm kind of, I
Oh,
feel like I'm getting back on track little by little, right? And so,
yeah.
and even during all that time, that voice, you need to get up and do it. I'm like, I have no energy, and it shows when when your energy isn't there. Because like there's sometimes I'll come in here and shoot content and I'm like, that didn't feel authentic. That didn't
Yeah.
feel real. And I want to be as authentic and real as I can be and like have my energy, because I am a bubbly person usually, but sometimes I can be my own worst enemy too. And I can get in
Of
my
course, you're
I
a
can
Leo.
get in my own way. The major roadblock is me. Like that's truly like, you know, and I got to the point like I'm a perfectionist too. Like I expect it to be perfect. I want to get it
That's the
right the
Gemini rising.
I expect myself to get it right the first time. And like my husband would make one little noise and my camera would pick it up and I would get mad and I'd throw the whole thing away. And I finally got to the point, you know what? I'm just going to say blooper reel when something messes up and keep going.
Right.
Like it's life. Shit happens. You can't.
Well, that's what we do is kind of like reality TV. It's
In a
unscripted
way, yeah.
shows. So if you're trying to do a certain thing and give a certain vibe, you're not being realistic. Just go
Yeah.
with the flow,
Yeah,
you
and I
know?
find it goes a lot better, and I'm not as stressed out. And, griping at my husband, then he's
Yeah.
upset, or, yelling at the dogs or the cat, when the
When
cat,
I started, it was really, really nerve-wracking for
yeah.
me. And
And
I was trying to be something I wasn't.
yeah, you
Uh,
look at when you watch other people and you see what works and then you try to do it, but it doesn't work for you because you're not them. And you have to find your own voice and your own way of doing things. And then,
My spirit brother Ramon is a prime example. I try to be like Ramon, and I
yeah,
just
it doesn't work
it's,
for you because
I'm
you're,
the Wish version. I'm the Timu version. It doesn't.
oh my God,
So I
right.
have to just be me. I'm foul
Yeah.
mouth. I'm lewd.
But
But
people show up for it,
I,
and it wasn't until I started doing the lives that my channel really started growing too. Like it seems like within, like I just this year
it's
got to
true, Bridget.
500 subscribers and I've been at it since well, on and off since 2019. And there's times where it's frustrating when you're like, man, I'm not growing, I'm not getting out there. And another thing, like I'm not a person that can pay to have things boosted or, right now I'm not
I
in
don't know
that.
what that means.
Like when you pay to have your content like broadcasted further, I don't know the terms for it. I don't pay for StreamYard either.
I figure
So,
who's meant to see
um,
my shows is going to see my shows.
exactly. I agree with you. Hi, Ellen. And that's kind of where,
Hey,
because I was
Ellen.
one of those person, I want the control. I'm like the Four of Pentacles a lot of times, like Ebenezer Scrooge in it
Yeah,
and holding
hold
on
on to
so
that shit.
tight, and then I end up pushing things away. And so this year I'm being more go with the flow, or I'm trying to, because it doesn't come naturally to me like it does some people. Like I'm having to learn to go with the flow because I like that control. And
I tell you what made it easier for me was I decided to start smoking weed on it.
hey,
And
and
once I started doing that, I was like, Psh, I'm all kinds of
I
chill.
couldn't. I almost wore my weed beanie, but I couldn't find it. I got the other. I feel like a candy corn with,
She said a candy corn.
and people are like,
uh,
"I hate candy corn." I'm like, I love it. Like, give it to
mm,
me. I like the little
that is
pumpkin.
my jam. I love
I like those
the
little
pumpkins are
pumpkin
so good. The
ones.
sugar pumpkins.
But
Mm.
my diabetes is like, girl, you better not.
I've got a bag of the cherry bombs.
Ooh.
They're in my bedroom. They're like the jelly beans, but they're the
Ooh.
tart ones, the sweet tart ones. They're
Oh,
so
okay,
good.
gotcha.
So I can only eat a couple at a time. But
Right.
there are other nights when I'm like, you hear that bag every few seconds. I'm just
That's talking
positive.
to me, and then the whole bag is gone, and you're like,
Yeah. Then I'm like, crap, where's my insulin? And
right,
this
yeah.
isn't the way diabetes works.
Sure, you can eat it. You might be in a coma later, but
All right. Okay, so Gigi, where do you find your inner strength?
well, I feel like I connect with strength so well because I'm a Leo. It's like that feels easy to me, like tapping into that inner. Not always, I will say,
For those
and
who don't know, the strength card is ruled by Leo.
yeah, and so I've just always kind of been confident. I'll shoot my shot with anybody. Like I would talk to people if you don't, but I'm a creep.
I know,
I'm
I'm
a
like,
weirdo.
weirdo.
What the hell am I doing here? Yeah. But like I would be in high school walking with my friends and a cute guy would walk by and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" That sort of thing. And they're like, "Oh my God." And I'll be like, "What?" The worst he can do is keep walking and not say anything to me. I mean,
Yeah.
and the confidence works sometimes, I mean, you can get places you may not have got otherwise, um some I can remember my mom telling me how bashful I was as a kid. Like I would hide behind her when other people would try to talk to me. So I was that way, the shy pussycat.
You see, I was the opposite. I'm like, look at what I can do.
Yeah. And my mom would like have people tell her, "We're afraid to touch her. She looks like a little porcelain doll," because I had like sapphire blue eyes. I'll send you a picture of me when I was a toddler so you can see. And my mom was like, "She's mean as hell. If you only knew, she will probably break you instead, instead of you
um,
breaking her." But on the flip side, sometimes I do have that self-doubt, or sometimes I can get in a cycle where those self-doubt things roll in, and I have to take a step back and be like, but is that true? Is that really, like, why am I telling myself that? And like you're saying, I have to remind myself I am that bad bitch.
remember,
Um,
remember thyself, my friend.
and I come from a long line of bad bitches, so fix your crown and carry on, honey.
What am I always telling Selena and Bridget and my friends like that? Bobby don't run with no punk bitches. Um, all the
I'm
people in my life are strong-willed people, whether they
And
be men
I
or
wanted
women.
to be the center of attention, like with family. Like my mom said, even when I was shy, if someone broke out a camera, I turned into a ham. I was posing. I was ready for my opportunity. You know,
I'm ready
I
for my
blame my
close-up, Miss
granddad
Somerville.
for calling me the boss and the TV star my whole life. Like, what do
I
you know
love it.
that I don't?
My grandma used to say I was just like my dad. We couldn't pass a mirror without
Yeah, gotta check.
staring in it. Yeah. But I was a teenager when she was saying all teenagers care about their
Right. Yeah,
appearance, yeah,
yeah.
especially budding young queens. So, all
I feel
right.
like we
So,
would have been friends in school. I mean, I know you're older than me, but if we had been just a little, just a year or two, nothing major.
I don't know what you mean, girl. I'm only 22. All right.
We
So
would
our
have
next
sat at
card
the
is
same
the
table.
Hermit.
Oh,
How do you spend your alone time?
I come in my office like I do not mind being alone. Um, but also I know my husband's in the house, so I know I'm not fully alone. But I do, yeah, I mean, he's not that much older than me by like maybe. maybe
Moving on.
maybe he was a senior when I was a sophomore, that sort of thing. Oh gosh, but um I'll come in here and I will put on some music, like whatever I feel like I need that day, whether it's chakra balancing, healing, I'll listen to stuff like that. I'll do my grounding exercises. I'll spray my banish negativity stuff that I made. And I have this perfume. It's Rise by Beyonce. So when I spray it, I'm like, I'm going to rise and be on that level.
I love
You
that. I do
know,
that too. I wear cologne here. I wear cologne when I do my shows
yeah.
here, because
And
it
just
makes me
smelling
feel
it
good. Yeah.
boosts my, senior citizen wellness. Okay, so we're the
You're gonna
same.
go back and watch this, and you're looking down when you said that, but watch my face.
Like, girl, you did not. I will kick you off my show. Like, well, that escalated quickly.
uh, the so
I,
alone time.
I forgot we're twins. I forgot
Twins
it.
Ace.
Like, it's the stroke brain. My bad. I'm gonna blame
So,
my strokes.
what do you do for enjoyment? That's how you ground yourself. But what do you do
Yeah,
for
that's.
fun?
Oh boy, I read. I
What's your
crochet.
favorite genre?
Oh God, like the why choose when you can have them all dirty, smutty. You know,
Oh, love
sometimes
those.
they're sometimes they turn into werewolves or
Those are the best ones. Anita Blake, Vampire Hunter.
yeah.
Check those out if you don't
Ooh,
know
okay,
Laurel K. Hamilton's books.
let me.
Um, Laurel K. Hamilton. Um,
I'm
it
writing that
is.
down so I won't
She's
forget.
eventually you find out she's very succubus energy. So
Oh wow, I do crochet.
and
One of
she's
the
she's screwing a vampire and a werewolf. Ah, love them.
Well, see, that's why I was like, I do like Twilight. You can hate me if you want. I don't care. But I was like, Bella, why choose when you can have them both? Like,
Uh-huh. Day shift and night shift. What's the
yeah,
problem?
I mean, I do crochet. My favorite thing I've ever made was my cousin is a big Elvis fan. And so I found a pattern and I crocheted her a blanket with Elvis's face.
Oh, wow.
So that's like my favorite thing I've ever made. I haven't done it a lot now since the strokes because I have trimmers. Um, she didn't know how to share. I didn't know how to share either. I don't like that's mine. No, that was my cousin. She didn't. You're team Jacob. I mean, hey, I'm team both. Get in where you
Uh,
fit in. Like,
right. And fit in right in the middle. Um,
yeah, graph crochet. Yeah, I did that.
I'm trying to learn how to do that, but to be honest, I haven't given it much.
My
I'm
grandma,
actually giving away all my yarn.
my grandma taught me. And she used to make a blanket and a bear for each grandchild. And like my blanket was, and my favorite color is red. And I tell her, I think it's because of my blanket. It's white with red roses that came up out of the center. And Emma, I can't ever say that word. Amagur. I butcher stuff. My grandma could just look at something and make it though. Like
Oh, I see what you're saying.
she didn't need a pattern. Yeah, is it amigurumi? I'm probably saying that totally wrong.
Amy, who?
But they're like the little like I made my niece a tiny panda that was that word. Why are words so hard? Ah, I like doing diamond paintings. Um,
So you like to create. That's the
I
Leo in you.
do. I do. And like the wheels are always spinning, and that's probably Gemini too. So I made a scarf once that had little cupcakes on the end. That was interesting to make. So
That's Fun.
Oh,
Let's go on with the Wheel of Fortune. Can you share a significant turning point in your spiritual journey where things started turning around? I know that you were talking about a rough time you had a couple
yeah,
years ago.
yeah.
Would you say that was the main turning point? And
Yeah, I feel like when I came out on the other side of that, because oh my gosh, like during that time, my anxiety was so high. I'll share this. My grandma, my mom's mom, that passed away November of 2009, we were really close. And she was mad at me because I was thinking about going to Texas. My biological dad lived there, and I was going to try to get to know him a little better. I was grown before I met him, you know, and she was mad at me. So when she passed, she was mad at me. She did not want me to go. And I was like, well, I think it'll be good for me, to get out of this funk, maybe meet some new people. And we laughed. When I got the call that she had passed, I didn't believe it at first. I got really angry at the person that told me. And when we got there, because one of my uncles was having a heart procedure, and it was going, how surgery is, it's always like longer or pushed back, something.
right.
My grandma got hungry, and my other uncle took her to KFC, and they ate, and then, of course, in true grandma fashion, she had to go to the bathroom. That's where she passed away, was in the bathroom at KFC. So, like,
Oh, wow.
we have a warped sense of humor in my family, and my grandma would have laughed about it when we said she went out like Elvis because she loved Elvis.
You know what? That's the type of jokes my family would make to
my
get through
and
it. I understand what you're
yeah,
saying.
and so my cousin, and it broke the tension in the room, and it was just. And my grandma, if she was traveling, she liked to have the radio on. And my mom and I were coming home from, we had viewed and we had talked about, her service and everything like that. And we were coming home, and all of a sudden the radio just came on. And my mom thought I had turned it on. And I was like, no, I thought you did. But it was her favorite Christmas song, Judy Garland's Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Mm.
And I was like, that was grandma.
It was October. No, I was kidding.
Well, it was November. She passed like 3 days before Thanksgiving that year.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
When my dad passed, my sister and I were cracking jokes at the
Yeah. But grandma
funeral home.
would have
We had
laughed
his
about it.
my dad's girlfriend was in tears, and my sister and I are like, it's not that serious, trying to stop our
Yeah.
laughter, but it was that nervous.
Yeah, you get nervous, and like
Yeah.
that's my cousin, and it's the one that loves Elvis, like grandma. She went out like Elvis, so, and I'm like, oh, you know what? She actually did. And and what helped me was I could still feel her, like, even though she wasn't physically here. Slowly, as I came out of it, I was handling it a little bit better, because I could still feel her. And I feel like that's what helped me, because there was a time I was scared to go anywhere. I'm like, she died in public. She died using the bathroom. Like, what if I just kill over, walking down the street? And so I wasn't living.
I'm more scared of dying here at home naked with all my everything everywhere for people to see. So
you better throw a blanket over me. You better put
right?
clothes on me. Yeah, I mean, and I was
Stop
scared,
and dress a bitch. Come on.
and I was scared to death at that time. Like, I was scared to die, and it wasn't like I was fearing like I was going to go to hell. But I think I had that fear of death in place because I was in such a dark place. Like, I was like, I don't care if I live or die. You get to that point sometimes. And but then I was like, oh, wait, no, I'm scared to death all of a sudden. And I don't have that anymore. Dying in the shower, yeah, that would freak. I'm drowning on top of dying. Oh
Yeah,
God.
I don't. I'm gonna have enough problems
Right.
just dying. I don't need the paramedics to be judging my physical form.
Like, don't look
They're
that way,
like, don't look
okay?
at
Just
me.
don't do it.
Don't look at me. I'm hideous.
My
Uh,
eyes are up here, or they were.
yeah, that is a
Oh
big fear of mine. Like it used to be, what if you have dirty underwear? Well, that's not my biggest fear anymore.
God. No, because I don't. I mean,
That's it. I don't wear underwear.
yeah,
Um,
I don't. I almost did literally almost say that. Oh God.
so the Hanged Man. Looking back, what advice do you wish someone had given you, and would you have taken it?
Did we do justice or did we skip justice?
We may have skipped justice. Let's
I
answer this
mean,
one, and then we'll
justice
go
is on my
backwards.
side.
I'm keeping you on your toes. Just
Hey, I mean, someone has to. I was like,
you
wait a
know
minute.
that this happened in my class on Saturday. I kept jumping ahead one or
Hey,
two,
I
but it was like
mean,
Bobby, back up. So
Victoria,
uh,
my eyes were up here before my cat ate them. Oh, no, right? Well, they were up here at one time.
so what advice do you wish someone had given you?
Oh gosh, I feel like I'm still getting really good advice. Even from, on the other side, my grandma was always someone I went to with everything. I could tell that woman anything and she would be like, how was it? Like ask me questions. And just because there's snow on the roof don't mean the fire's out. That's probably
Uh-huh.
the
Just
best
because there's
advice.
dust on the bottle don't mean it
Yeah,
ain't real
the best
sweet.
advice I've ever gotten in my whole life. And she had gems like that. Like she I have Mr. Murder Mitten. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, somebody's gonna eat my face if I
Yeah,
die
yeah.
alone.
I
Yeah,
have a cat and two dogs, so I mean, I'm sure I'll be a tasty morsel. What advice?
I don't know. I asked you.
Yeah. Um, um. Well, you know how we are Leos, right? And I think
Uh-huh.
this was the best advice my grandma gave me because I was upset that someone didn't like me, right? Because how dare they not like me? Like, I'm fabulous, don't you know? And I was really upset. And my grandma always called me by my middle name because she's the one that came up with it. So, um, she said, well, do you like everybody? And I was like, no. And she's like, well, then you can't expect everybody to like you now, can you? And I was like, oh, that hit me with some. She was a Scorpio, so
Yeah.
she would sting you. But
My grandma was a Scorpio too. And she's the one who told me, unless they're paying your bills, pay them bitches no mind.
yeah,
So we're
after
very
I got
similar there.
after I got divorced, because my grandma seen, how hard it affected me, and she would watch over me like she was still alive, watch over me, and I would be just bawling my eyes out. And she said, "Don't ever get married again. Just play house, and when you're done with them, put them on the corner with the rest of the
Yep.
trash." So, uh, I don't know. Like, I can't think of any. Like, I guess that it gets better. Keep going. I wish people would tell you about their darker periods, and then like, but look at me now. I think that would have helped to know that everybody has a rock bottom. Everybody,
That's why I say it's one of the
you
reasons I do
know,
this show.
yeah.
Um, I love that. Okay. So our next question, my dear, is the death card. How do you approach change and transformation in your life? Do you run towards it or run away from it?
Probably a little both, I would say, because like I said, I'm someone that likes control. And change has not been easy for me. Even when it's good change, I'm like, change? I don't, but we have to in order to grow. And, you know, it's
I,
another thing I'm learning
I'm
to.
resistant.
I am too. Like I really am. Like I'm comfortable here.
Yeah.
Like why would I want to change whenever like
Once once I've made the decision to try something
then
new,
it's
though, I'm
easy.
like, let's fucking do it. You know, you
Well,
you
that's me
you wanted to do
because
this, let's do it.
I am very much an all or nothing person. So I'm either all the way in or I am all the way out. There is no in between. So once I make up my mind on something, yeah, why leave my comfort zone? I love it. Um, but then you realize change is inevitable. Eventually it's going to happen, right? So hey, see, you're the what is that like opposite? Balancing the energy out, right? And I love the death card because it's Scorpio energy. And I've had a lot of amazing Scorpios in my life. Like I attract them. I attract Scorpios and Aquarius for some, for
Um,
some reason.
True Leos need that water energy in their life to balance them out. My
Oh,
grandma was that energy for me.
and the Scorpio with the sting, but with love.
Yeah.
Like she would sting me differently than she would other people. Like she would show me her big beautiful heart, whereas she wouldn't show that to other people. She had that mask. So I embrace change by the skin of my teeth sometimes, and then it seems like other changes, like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Like once you finally make up your mind, like, oh, I made that worse than it actually, like I
That
messed
is
up more
true. I do that all
than
the
mine.
freaking time.
And like when I message people and they don't answer, I'm like,
They
okay,
must
then
hate
I'm,
me. What did I do to
yeah,
piss them off? What's going
why aren't
on?
you talking to me? I go like,
Speak
what
to
am
me. Yeah.
and then I have to remember not everyone is like if someone met and I feel like I have to have the last word. Like I
Yeah.
like when
Meanwhile,
I'm
I haven't returned texts in 6 hours, 7 hours.
and
So
that's part of your self-care. Sometimes I have to unplug, and because it can be too much, have to it can be draining.
let's talk about draining and things being too much because after the death card comes the period of healing. Temperance. I do love the temperance card because it's a survivor's card.
Yeah.
Is
And I'm definitely
do you hear weird stuff happening with my microphone?
no, I don't. But it could be my heater or my fan because they
No,
No,
I
I
hear an echo.
oh, you hear it? No, I don't, but
Okay. Do you guys watching hear an echo? Let me know.
but then
Because if
again
there
I'm
is,
deaf
I
in
might.
one ear, so
Oh,
the fabled witch says they do hear if you're hearing weird
um,
stuff, it could be
all
my
right.
heater or my fan.
No, there's an echo. So
Okay.
here's what. Answer the question on the screen here,
Okay.
and I'll dip out and come back in.
Okay, hon. So, I do love Temperance too. It is a survivor's card, and I'm like that Reba McEntire song, I'm a survivor. So, I've survived everything that's happened to me so far. Uh, but yeah, there have been times where I thought I may not make it, but like I said, that fear of death came at the time I needed it to and then went away after I was better, after I had healed. And like I said, I definitely feel that Reba song, I'm a survivor. Yeah, I've survived. I've been
Great
home.
album.
I've been homeless. I've been, and didn't know what was going to happen, sleeping in a train station at night, and we were in Illinois. And so I didn't have anything of my, blood family. And Illinois is different from a little Oklahoma girl, what I was used to. So, but then I believed in myself. I picked myself up. I found a job. Things got better. I survived all that death and all that hard times.
Woof
Um,
woof.
yeah, and I survived losing two more pregnancies with my current husband. So, um, all my angel babies, I feel them around me, and I feel like that has helped me too. That I can feel them. I feel my grandma. I feel the people that I need to feel when I need to feel them. And astral projecting in my sleep, I feel like has been a thing that has helped me a lot. Now, the first time it happened, I became like aware, and then I thought I was dying and my spirit was leaving my body, and then I crashed back into myself because I didn't know that that's what I was doing. So, I feel like certain things happen at certain times for a reason to help us keep pushing forward no matter what. I'm just that person though. I have that fire in me, and I'm like, I, believing in yourself and believing that you're going to get through it, I feel like is a big, and I will push myself until I get there. Like, motivate myself, like be my own cheerleader and talk myself up. And,
Yeah.
they say,
Hey, when you've been through the ringer in your life, you learn
yeah,
how to be your own best cheerleader.
yeah, you really do. Like, if no one else is going to cheer for me, I sure will.
I used to get hurt when people wouldn't cheer for me or support me when I
Or be,
needed it in the
yeah.
right way, and when my family wouldn't. I was always jealous of my brothers and sisters.
Mm.
I only have one of each, brother and sister, um, but I always made things worse for myself.
Me
Um,
too. And then, growing up, like my mom, like I said, she was a Capricorn, and sometimes they can feel cold and standoffish. So there was times where I felt like I wasn't getting enough attention or enough love from her, but she was loving me to the best of her ability and showing it to me in different ways. Like, I was always had a roof over my head, food on the table, clothes on my back, and she worked really hard when she was single, you know, to make sure I had those things, even if she did without. And, how strong she was. And my grandma too, like my grandma actually did tell me, she survived some dark times too. And she shared those with me. And then I think on those and I'm like, and she survived it. And she
mhm.
went on to be, astral. Yeah, I didn't know what it was the first time, and it scared the bejesus out of me.
Funny story about astral travel. I don't like calling it astral travel
Okay.
because that thought scares me of leaving my
Hmm.
body. But um, I had a conversation with Joey one day about shape shifting, and I was like, "Yeah,
Oh.
when I shape shift spiritually, I leave my body and I do this." And she said, "Wait, back up." and
Yeah, like, wait a
she
minute.
said, she says, "You realize that's astral traveling?" And I was like, "No, it's just me shifting out of my."
But
and
but
I was
like
like, "Oh."
here, when they say shape shifting, it's like people turning into wolves, or
Well,
like,
when I leave my body, I imagine myself becoming a raven or becoming a dog, or,
oh,
um, and running out across the land or flying out across the sky,
whatever you
um,
need at that moment.
whatever I need right then.
Yeah, I
Serpent.
like that.
Um,
Well, and here, it's native land. Like, pretty much the whole state of Oklahoma is native land. And so, they talk about shapeshifters being, or the SW, the skin,
yes.
and stuff like that.
Smart freaking girl.
Yeah.
Good. It's already 5:19 here. Certain things we don't talk about past the
Yeah, we
dark.
don't talk about
No.
that. Hey,
No.
Crystal. Yeah.
Uh,
So, oh, sleep paralysis. Yeah, that's a weird one
that's
too.
probably the only one that I don't say. That one
Yeah.
right there. Yeah.
Mm-mm, no, no. Mm-mm.
If daytime, no problem. Nighttime, nah. We'll talk
Even in
about it in
the
the morning.
daytime, I ain't trying to invite that.
Yeah.
Like we don't talk about what is his name?
Bruno. We don't talk
Bruno. We
about
don't talk
Bruno.
about Bruno. Oh God. And then we have the
Uh,
devil up next. So
yeah. Actually, I was just gonna say before we do that, we're gonna make a jump forward back to the
okay,
Justice card.
that's fine.
Um, the Justice card is one of the cards that asks us if our actions have been in balance. If you could go back and change one thing in your life
Oh,
that you can control, what would you change?
oh my gosh. I don't think I would. Like, I know there have been times in my life where I'm like, if I could go back and change that, I would. But I feel like I wouldn't be where I am and who I am today if I actually did. Um, I'm kind of like life's a dance. You learn as you go.
Go
And,
on, Garth.
yeah, and the dance, he said I could have missed the pain, but I'd have to miss the dance. And
Yeah.
I don't want to miss the dance. There was a period where I was a wallflower and set out, when I was working through things, but I'm back,
Yeah.
and um, you learn to live again. And it took me a while to get there, but I'm thankful for where I am. Yeah, I mean, I know we all say that, oh, I would change that or I would do that differently, but I mean, if it was rewound, I mean, if I knew what I knew now, I probably could,
The
but
truth of the matter is, I would probably screw things up
or
really
make it
bad.
worse,
Yeah.
like
And if you want a more in depth
like
explanation, watch the butterfly effect.
yeah, or like Bill and Ted, don't touch
Bill
anything,
and Ted.
don't
Yes,
see
yes,
it,
yes, yes.
like I'd be like, dude, I accidentally and have to go back multiple times.
So,
Thing.
the devil card is our next card. What was the hardest thing that you ever had to break free of?
When I was married the first time, I lost who I was because I tried to become who he wanted me to be. Um, I'm not high maintenance, I'm not, but he expected me to have my hair and my makeup done, even to go check the mail. So, so I tried to become, you know, who he wanted me to be. And then the more unhappy I was, and, forgot who I was, because trying to make someone else happy, and then he was never happy anyway. He would always find something to
Yeah.
criticize. And I'm like, huh. And so, you know, I think that's been the hardest thing for me is I was a people pleaser. And there are still times now where I can feel myself, you know, and then I have to take a step back and be like, is that something I really want to do? Like
Yeah,
I'm
is
ready,
your first impulse is to
yeah.
volunteer or to be there for other people to, yeah, I get
And,
that. I do
and
that.
if people come to me with their problems, I try to solve it, or I try to be the hero, or um, maybe they were the same person. Like, oh gosh, yeah. So I had to learn who I was again too, and get back to, who I truly am. And my husband now, he's like, he hates makeup. And I'm like, praise the Lord, because it
You're
hurts.
getting some tonight, bless you.
I'm like, because I have PCOS, I can grow a beard. And my first husband would make fun of me for it and make me feel bad. And my husband now is
What a
like, because
dick.
since I've had the strokes, he'll shave my face for me if I'm trimmering too bad.
Aw.
You probably never thought you would grow up and marry a bearded lady that you had to,
You know what though? My niece is the same way.
yeah,
She has to shave and she is so spectacularly gorgeous.
yeah.
But
And
it's just a
so,
thing. It's a
yeah, and
birthright
it's like
thing.
I can't help it,
Yeah.
it's just um and my husband now is like, I don't care if you have a beard, rock it, go out with it, who cares, and I'm like, boy, he's Aquarius. I'm like, man, I wish but makeup, my face is so sensitive that like when I take it off, I'll be red and itchy and blotchy. So I don't really like wearing it that much because of that reason. So and the older I'm getting, like the more sensitive my skin is. So
Right. Shoot. I forgot to do something. No,
you
I
just
just realized it just hit me right there. Well, when you said shave, I was thinking beard, beard. Who's got
yeah.
sexy beards? And Roman has a beautiful, sexy beard, Goldmundy X, and it hit me. I'm on with him tomorrow, and I forgot to post the show. So when we
Oh
get off here, I've got to
no.
create the show link.
Yeah, so like my
um,
husband now is so supportive and so loving, and that's still like new to me, even though we've been together like 11 years. He's my longest relationship I've ever had. So like he's like, who cares if
and
he
what's
has a
his sign?
beard? He's Aquarius.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Both
you
of
said
them.
that. If you said Capricorn, I was going to shit myself. That would have been one coincidence too many
I
because
mean,
my husband's a
they're
Capricorn.
close. They're
Yeah,
close.
that way they are. They're right next to each other.
Yeah.
Um,
So I mean, and my
oh my
first
God, they are
husband,
right next to each other.
yeah,
Yeah.
my first husband was Aquarius too, and it's funny. I laugh because they're both blonde. They're both left-handed. They're both born in February. The ex had green eyes. My current hubby has blue eyes, and I'm like, so I almost got it right the first.
Almost. My husband has those green eyes. I love green eyes.
I
It's the
love
whole
blue
reason I
eyes.
threw myself at him at the
Like,
bar.
ooh, you. Mine change. Mine go from green to blue and blue to green, like
His
all.
go green to hazel.
Yeah,
Uh,
and when mine are blue, I have brown specks, and when they're green, I have gold specks.
I
So,
love that. Sassy.
yeah.
So, how do you deal with upheaval in your life? What's your advice to others for handling those tower moments?
Well, first of all, kick and scream, get it out. that's that's me because we've talked about how I don't like being pushed out of my comfort zone. It's okay once I've made my mind up, but being booted out of it, like, whoo, Lord. But I'm like a cat. I land on my feet. But
I may land on my ass, but
yeah, but
I'll
I'm
get
gonna
back up.
say I landed on my feet anyway. But
Yeah, everyone will
um,
think I landed. Right.
oh man, I mean, I have not always handled things in the best way. Like I said, I feel like I'm mellowing with age. Like I still have a temper at times. And like I said, I don't like being pushed. I do stuff when I want to
The
do
way you
it
said that, I don't like being pushed.
with all the
I
with
was like, okay, girl, I won't
all
push you.
the
Go.
power of my might. Do not push
Right.
me, okay? Gentle nudges only. Because
What's
it's
up,
like
cat
I
goddess?
have to, someone could tell you something, but until I come to that realization myself, it doesn't fully click for me
Yeah.
until I grasp that, but who likes being pushed out of your ivory tower, I mean, not this girl. But I wouldn't be in the ivory tower anyway, but
I tell people. about the scene from in Lord of the Rings when he's on top of the tower.
Yeah.
Imagine if a bolt of lightning would have hit the tower underneath where he's standing. What would happen?
Yeah.
Look at it from that viewpoint. Shit's gonna go sideways.
Yeah. And it's like I have enough problems. What's one more, I guess, sometimes, like, okay. That's why I've learned to say what else, or
Yeah, it's
don't
if
say that because it can get worse
yeah.
or
I'm not gonna dare the universe, but
yeah. No,
I get what you're saying. I've been through enough, a lot in life to reach the point where I'm like, okay, this is
now I'm
gonna get better. I'm going through a rough patch. I
and
got
now I'm
this.
learning to say, okay, universe, show me how good it can get. You know,
What she
like you
said.
said, we've had enough go wrong that I'm going to claim, all right, universe, I know you want to bless me, so I'm open and ready for it. I may have to cry and throw a bitch fit first, but I'll get there.
As long as I stay positive, I'm okay.
Yeah,
Once I
yeah.
start spiraling, I'm in
And,
trouble. So
and
that's when I have to reach out to my friends saying,
yes,
talk
yes.
me down off
You're,
this
yeah,
ledge.
because you may have to get out on the ledge with me and bring me back in, but we gonna get there.
Let's talk about that for a second. Looking back, who would you say was your guiding light?
My grandma, 100%.
And what was her name?
Jane.
Jane.
And
Well,
my
Jane,
middle
if you're
name's,
with us,
yes,
good job
she's
raising us.
sassy. Um, like I said, she always called me by my middle name, Janine, because she came up with that. It was the closest to Jane that she could get that sounded good with my first name, because I'm named after my Aunt Gail. And so my nickname is Gigi instead of GJ because my cousin was like, GG sounds better than GJ, doesn't it? Mine are poop.
She says, see, Selena, you say poop brown, but what I see when I look at you is those beautiful, sensual
when
Latina
I when
eyes
I've
that the
seen
rest
her
of the world wants.
when I've seen her on, they look so dark they almost look black. I don't know if they really are, but it's the soul light behind it that makes
Her
you
black
know.
soul, is that what you're saying?
No, 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 her soul shines through. Oh, great. Now she's gonna not like me anymore. I'm sorry, Selena. They almost, yeah, you're black. Well, I mean, at least she embraces it.
She works with Santa Muerte. She's not kidding. It is a dark soul.
Maybe maybe sometimes it's
She
Persephone
understands
coming
the joy
through,
of liminal space. Um,
trying to get me in trouble. I don't need no help.
I know.
Let me pull my foot up
I'd be
into
like,
my
hey, let
mouth.
me create a situation and throw you into it. Wah! Okay.
Oh wow, Maureen. Gigi, my one aunt is Jane, my other aunt is Janine, and my daddy's name is Gail. Good Lord, that's a lot of.
Wow. All right. The moon card. How do you deal with negative people?
Walk away. I didn't always. Sometimes I would entertain the negative, when I was in my toxic. Yeah, I blame Bobby. It's all your fault. Selena said so.
Oh, and everyone's like, Bridget. Ah.
But I'm learning to pick my battles. I used to take on every battle. Like I said, I was a people pleaser too.
Right.
And, when you don't put boundaries in place, I tend to be a giver too. And when you're a giver, it's like it's written across your forehead, and receivers are like, oh, let me come suck up all this goodness.
Yeah,
And,
it's like
you
putting a
know,
bowl that says free candy.
yeah. I'm like, the candy ain't free no more. My grandma told me no. um, so yeah, like I've had to learn to put my strong, healthy boundaries in place, and it's not always easy, especially with family. Sometimes, because people are like, "Oh, they're your family." I'm like, "So what? If I don't want to be around them, I'm not gonna be." Um, if they don't want to talk to me no more, great. Like I've had to get to that point, because I do have some family members that don't talk to me and don't want anything to do with me anymore. And I'm like, that's your choice.
Yeah,
My grandma would say the trash took itself.
I love that. And I told you what my grandma said. She literally said, RuPaul says it.
Yeah.
But unless they paying your bills, pay them bitches no mind.
If they ain't paying your bills or, it don't matter, like it's none of their business. Thank you. Have a great night.
My grandma was a badass.
Yeah, so was mine. And they lived through times like my grandma lived through the Great Depression. And her parents were deaf. And so she said that when the blackouts, when they would blare the siren, they
Uh-huh.
had to tell their parents to lower the blinds and everything because they couldn't hear the stuff going off during
That's
what was
scary. That's something I never
World War
really thought
II.
about.
Yeah, so they like my aunt and my grandma, and they were both Scorpios.
I
And
love that.
I visualize spraying sage. That's why I made this banishing negativity spray, like bitch be gone spray.
Oh, my friend Joey sells some of that. Um,
I made me some. My
Fuck
mom was
off
with me.
spray. Um,
Oh
all
wow.
right. So let's go on to our next card. We're almost done.
We're
We've got
getting there.
the Sun, the Judgment, and the World card are our last contestants here. The Sun card. What brings you joy, and how do you celebrate your successes?
I wake up and before I even open my eyes, I try to say, what? Right here, right now, I'm choosing to be happy. No matter what else this day brings, right here, right now, I'm going to choose to be happy. I am welcoming happiness in, and I invite it to stay with me throughout the day. Now, do I do that all the time? No, of course not, because sometimes I wake up like, what in the world is happening? Like, what planet am I on? But um so I try to start it on as positive a note as I can. And I love the sun because it is the ruler of Leo. It's another one of those that I feel really connected to. And I like to celebrate with other people. Like I like to share, not because I'm like, well, yeah, it does boost my ego. I can't lie about that. But
Uh-oh, I got an echo. Keep talking.
okay.
I'm gonna dip out.
Okay. Um so I feel like I try to share my positivity with other people too. It's not always easy, but that's why I love the sun card. I used to do that every morning. Now I pray karma be swift, justice be done. I mean, that's a good one too. Unconditional love from my pets. Yeah, that brings me joy too. Like having my pets, having my husband, uh, you know, having my mom nearby. My mom and I weren't always close, but we're close now. Because I realize, more than I did, when I was a kid, I thought like a kid, right? And I could only perceive so much. My mom had a rough upbringing too, and so she could be cold and standoffish. That Capricorn energy sometimes that comes, you know. But she took care of business. I mean, she loved me in that way, but it wasn't always the way I wanted to be loved. It might just be from Gigi's fan. It might be like she's old.
Oh,
So if you're hearing like a
well, before there was an echo with me, so I thought it might be again. But easier just to dip out and come back in. Um,
I wish the fan it doesn't have a string, so I can.
so it's okay, my love. Let's say that you were to sign a book deal.
Ooh,
How would you celebrate?
ooh, let's go get a hot fudge brownie sundae.
Ooh, my gosh, that sounds so good.
Like, let's go eat. I'm very food motivated, and it shows. Okay. My diabetes is like, girl, don't do it. But I'm like, I'm gonna do it.
I've had those cherry candies on my mind ever since we were talking about them. Um,
Well, okay. My husband got me, and it's the dark chocolate.
oh, mounds.
And I love dark chocolate, so he gets extra points for. Oh, you thought I had an echo then? Yeah, I really do believe it's my fan, and I need to get one of those like extender chain things so I can turn it off. Champagne. I'm not really a big drinker anymore,
Well, now
so.
I want a mounds, Gigi, because I can't eat I can't eat the almond joy because I'm allergic to the almonds.
Oh,
But
right, yeah.
the mounds, those are so
Have you
good.
seen like where at Halloween twin babies, one's a boy, one's a girl, and one's in a mounds and one's in an almond joy because it says one has nuts and the
Oh
other
my gosh.
doesn't.
Yeah.
That always I don't know why that popped in my head, but oh my gosh, the weird things that pop in your head. I would probably. Oh, I didn't know Shoney's had. Mine is Brahms, and I know there's not Brahms everywhere. That's like an Oklahoma thing, but the ice cream and dairy store here, and
We have Dairy Queen, but
Dairy
I say,
Queen. I We had that in Illinois, so I did like it, but I'm a Brahms girl through and through, and people are probably gonna be like because they only deliver they only have stores like here and maybe states that they can get to like within a day because they have their own farm. So the
oh
meat,
yeah, yeah,
everything
I
comes
get
from
it.
cattle at their big farm. There's
Oh,
Brahms in
that's so smart.
California. I did not know that. I haven't used my and I'm lucky that I married a man that loves to cook. I'm like, it's perfect. You love to cook. I love to eat. We're perfect. I love it.
Okay, so we've talked about joy. Now let's talk about transformation. The Judgment card says it's time to reflect on our lives. If they were creating a movie about your life and experiences, what would it be called?
Oh boy. I have thought about writing a book called The Heavy Sheep. Um, Based on like kind of my life and everything. Like growing up, my grandma had this cup that said it had a U on it. It said "You's not fat, you's just fluffy." And tiramisu,
Fuck yeah.
girl, yes, I need a bite of that.
You
Um,
talk to me. You say that tiramisu. Say it.
Say
Mm,
it dirty.
talk to me. Whisper it in my ear. Chocolate.
Oh, my mom used to have a shirt that said chocolate is the fifth food group, and I'm like, it absolutely is. Um, I'm very chocolate motivated. So ooh, well, like I said, my granddad always called me the boss and the TV star. So I feel like that's a good one. Like I would go in the closet and he would announce me like I was coming out on the Grand Ole Opry, and then we would sing. So I mean, he helped develop my outgoing, you little nasty. It's because we read the
That
dirty book.
chocolate baby.
Cover me in chocolate. That's
Cover me chocolate. Give me that
and
milk chocolate.
that's what I choose when I can have them all. Oh my god.
So the name of the book,
uh,
or
why
yeah, the name of the
choose?
movie
Why
now.
choose?
Why
Let's go with
choose?
everything.
I
Yeah.
like that. Taste it all. I love that.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
I used to call myself the United Nations of Love because
Ooh,
I, didn't have a type. I liked
I
men.
don't either. If I vibe with you,
Yeah.
then, and people were like, I was like, well, I like the vibe at the time. Sometimes the vibe changes after a while and it's no longer a good fit, but, I, you never know what's going to happen or what's going to work unless you try. So
Yeah. Give it a shot. Fuck around and find
let's
out.
do a little dibble dabble.
So the world card is our final card, Gigi.
Oh, wow.
It's a great big world out there.
It is.
Where would you most like to visit and why?
I've always felt very drawn to Ireland, and I know I have Irish roots. Like my grandma Jane, her maiden name was Maguire. So
You're a
we
ginger,
always,
aren't you?
uh, no, I mean, my original hair color, it was like brown with red highlights and then completely blonde underneath. My mom was like, you had several different shades, but my grandma was a redhead and a
Ah,
redheaded Scorpio. She was feisty. And
feisty, yeah.
yeah, so her grandma, through her grandma Maggie, um, our roots reached to Ireland, and I feel like that's where it feels like it's calling me home. Like that's the only way. Uh, yeah, if I vibe with you, that's why I told my husband the other day, I don't think I'm actually, I've never dated a woman, but if I was to vibe with one, I probably would. So I don't consider myself 100% straight.
Well, you're an energy worker. You see past the physical, so
Mhm.
that's to be commended. Does anybody have any questions for Miss Gigi?
I like to talk, so
If you do, post your questions all in capital. We went a good 20
yeah,
minutes past what we normally do. You've been a lot of fun to talk with
I'm a
today.
talker. That's I probably told you way more than you wanted to know, but
I love it because I had people on the show where
better
you
come.
really have to try to draw them out.
Yeah,
You're a Leo, you know the routine.
I'm like,
You know how to shine, baby girl.
and I even said before this, I did a meditation, and I was like, I want to be radiant, and glowing, and because I want to entertain people to a certain extent, too.
See, you have that joyous healing energy that Heyoka empaths have. I'm a
Oh,
Heyoka empath.
I never
Heyoka
heard of
empaths,
that.
look it up, girlfriend. You're gonna
How do you spell it, Bobby? Do you know?
H-E-Y, like hey,
Like, hey, okay,
Oka, O-K-A, Heyoka.
I
It's
will
from the
definitely.
Lakota tradition. Um,
Ooh, okay.
they they're empaths on steroids. Um, but what makes them special is they're spiritual warriors. They're
Oh yeah.
spiritual healers that heal through laughter. They're called the divine clowns or
Oh
sacred
wow.
clowns. I'm a Heyoka empath. I when I make people laugh
Laughter
during my
and
readings,
laughter and love are the greatest
yeah,
healers. Like they
yeah.
truly are.
Look it up, you guys.
I will
Heyoka
definitely do
empath.
that.
They've got some beautiful videos on YouTube talking about them.
And I also like find myself sometimes I'll just come in here and put on like Native American flute music,
Hmm.
and it soothes my soul.
I like drum music, Native American drum music. There is
That energy with the drums.
The Sahanas brothers, spiritual musicians, have some great drum. Raven Spirit Drums or something like that is my favorite album. Obviously, Raven. Um,
Right. Of course, anything.
I want to thank you, Gigi,
Thank
for
you for
being
having
part of
me.
the show today. It's been a blast talking with you. I had fun reading with you last time.
Yes.
Stick around backstage and we will
Absolutely.
come up with another time. Um, to get
Sounds good.
together.
Craving chocolate right
Everybody,
now.
now
It's
that
all my fault.
we done flung a craving on you,
Now everybody's like, hey, you gotta get me.
right? I'm gonna eat too.
Right, I'm gonna eat too. Let's do
Now I
it.
want a symphony bar. It just sounds so good.
Ooh,
All right,
that's
everybody.
good.
Tomorrow I will be on with Roman in the morning. I believe it's 1 o'clock Eastern. I think. Let me just check my phone. I don't want to tell you guys the wrong time.
Boy, we were both early the other day and like, what is happening? Like I was not fully on, but it didn't take me long to get in the groove. I could feel your energy too, and that helped. Like
Hmm.
when you feel good energy coming your way, it we got in like a groove, and then it was like, oh, my soul brother.
Uh-oh. Yeah, it should be 1 o'clock Eastern. It just says Tuesday morning. I don't think I gave him a time.
Oh
Shit. Oh, here it is. Sure, Bobby. 12
no,
o'clock
together.
Pacific. 12 Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern. There it is. Whew, scared me.
Save myself. Saved by the bell.
Oh, I have a habit of looking at my phone late at night to create the shows, and then I forget about it in the morning. And
Right, because you go to sleep and then you're a whole new person.
I am. Who am I gonna be when I wake up? It was funny when you were talking about putting yourself in a positive frame of mind for the day. Me, the first thing I wake up and think to myself now is, do I want to fucking get out of bed?
That's me some days too. Like
Do
you'll
I
do
want to? Do I really want to?
you do a body check and you're like, "Ooh, that hurts."
Yeah. Do I really have to go to the bathroom?
Oh
Can I
God.
just piss in the bed? I do.
Yeah, I mean, blame it on my brain injury.
That's actually how we knew I had a
Yeah,
problem with my brain, was I
yeah,
was
I remember you
wetting the
saying
bed.
that.
Yeah.
Like, I have, how sometimes you have that dream and it feels so real that you have gotten up and gone to the bathroom
I
and
used to have that when I was young.
you just about pee, or I would sometimes because I really
When
thought
I was young,
I
yeah.
was in the bathroom.
Yeah. Good night, everybody. Good night, Denise.
Hi,
We're shutting it down right now. Hi, Lulu.
Lulu. Nice to
Nice.
see you.
So, as I was saying, tomorrow with Roman, which I have to create and post, and then Wednesday, with Joey. 420
Ooh.
Tarot. Joey is back, and then Thursday with Selena, and Miss Tarot D.
Oh, ooh.
Yeah, so Thursday night, Miss Tarot D will be joining Selena and I. Um, all right, everybody. It's been a blast. I love
Yes.
you. I love you all, but I gotta go eat. So you guys
Gotta feed
have.
myself.
I gotta feed Daddy. All right. See you guys later. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank